Hey guys, Geek Gab here. Now, this will be part 2 of Ben 10 Basics for the original series. In this part, like I said before, I'll be talking in this specific video about the additional aliens Ben unlocks throughout the rest of the original series. And just in brief summary, now, this video might be shorter, hopefully. So, hope you enjoy. Now, the first new alien that isn't in the original 10 that Ben unlocks is Cannonbolt. Now, okay, now Cannonbolt is known as an Arborian Pelorota. I really hope I'm pronouncing that right. His race, like the name would imply, can roll around in a ball, and they have immense physical strength and durability. Listen, I've never watched Indiana Jones, but I'm still gonna make the reference. You ever wonder what it feels like to get hit by the boulder from Indiana Jones? But when it speeds up, rolling and spinning, gaining velocity and speed and force behind it, yeah, that's gonna do some damage. Now, he can change direction, of course, and of course, if you move quick enough, you can dodge him. And of course, slippery surfaces would likely be a weakness, but as for weaknesses, that's pretty much the gist of it that I can think of at the moment. And like I said, pretty powerful alien. Not gonna lie. Now, the next alien that he unlocks is Wildvine. Now, Wildvine is a Florowana. Basically, a combination of the words flora and fauna. Now, Wildvine is a alien just made up entirely of plant matter. Now, he has these little eggplant-looking things just kind of growing on his back that he can throw that can have various effects. Hang on. Let me go ahead and just look up what those things actually do, just so I can give you like the proper information. He he can, well, you know what? Screw it. I'll just do I'll just explain it in a more in detail video about him later down the road. All right. Now, obviously, as like a plant-based alien, he has various plant-based abilities. He can throw, thorns or vines or seeds, all that stuff. He can stretch to grapple and climb to nearby surfaces. He can manipulate his vines as like tendrils to bind people. He can tunnel and burrow by closing the Venus flytrap like Zetsu head, where his head is. And of course he can regenerate. So let's say he were to put his arm through a wood chipper, he could just regrow it. And that's pretty much the basic gist of it for him. Now, the next alien that he unlocks is Well, technically, Spitter, Buzzshock, and Arctiguana, he hasn't unlocked those for years and years. But they're on the list. So just don't worry about them. We'll get to those in another video. Now, the next official alien that he unlocks is Blitzwolfer. Now, he is what's known as a Loboan. Now, they are a humanoid bipedal werewolf-like creature that has powerful sonic-based abilities. Now, obviously they have like all of the physical capabilities that you would associate with a bipedal werewolf, as well as just general wolf-like physiology. So hypersensitive ears and nose and stuff like that. Powerful claws for climbing. But their muzzle or their snout just splits in half. And then they can shoot an insanely powerful sonic howl that has ungodly potency. And yes, it can actually deal great damage to those of Diamond Head's race. Like I talked about before, where they have weaknesses to sonic attacks. Now, that's basically the gist of Blitzwolfer, or as he's known as, Ben Wolf originally. And he can propel himself, kind of like a hyper jump, by like aiming downwards and then screaming with that sonic howl. But that's basically the gist of it. And then the next one is Snare-O, a combination of Pharaoh and Snare, as in ensnare your enemies. He is originally known as Ben Mummy. Now, he is a Thep Kufan, a mummy-like alien from a desert-like planet. Now, like the appearance or name would suggest, he looks like a mummy, and they are able to completely unravel and turn their body into bandages. Now, whether they're just bandages or if there's actually any like inner organs or whatever, and they just happen to be able to turn into bandages at a whim, not currently known yet. Now, obviously, Snare-O can stretch and just grapple to nearby items or places, and obviously, trap someone by wrapping them up, as well as unravel to cushion his fall. He can reform if some of his bandages get snapped or damaged. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Now, he doesn't show any associated mummy abilities like summoning sand or plagues or stuff like that. But that's basically the gist of him. The next alien he unlocks is Perk Upchuck. Now, spoiler alert. Alright, there's your warning. That was your warning to skip or stop if you don't want spoilers. But as we'll find out later on in the franchise, there's two specific subspecies of Gormond, which is what Upchuck is. Now, Upchuck has various tongue-like tentacles that he can just kind of coil out of his mouth to grab items. And he can basically eat and digest anything and then spit it back out as like an energy or slime attack. Now, he can stretch to a certain extent to be able to acquiesce and eat certain items, but obviously there is an overall limit somewhat, and his stomach can actually like stretch out to contain things, but all gourmands have like a sort of shared pocket dimension kind of thing, kind of like Kirby, which like helps them digest stuff. But of course, you know that they can eat a lot. Now, um, well, I mean, honestly, that's pretty much the gist of it. You know, relatively simple alien. Um, Now, the next alien he unlocks is Frankenstrike, also known as Ben Victor. Now, Ben Victor, or Frankenstrike, is a creature known as a Transilian. Now, summed up, they have an appearance that is very similar, honestly, almost identical to Frankenstein's monster. Now, they have immense physical strength and durability, apparently space survivability, and just electrical manipulation. They can siphon it off, or just, you know, do the clap thing and then just send out like a thunder strike, you know, like a thunderclap kind of ability, an electromagnetic body, so they can cling to different like magnetic surfaces or other surfaces. And that's basically the gist of it. Like I said, I will go into much more detail in individual videos for each alien, but that's basically the gist of it. Anyone can understand that, no matter how new to the show you are. The next alien he unlocks is, technically Igai. Now, Igai, he is known as an opticoid. Now, he is an alien completely covered in just various assorted eyes all over his body. Kind of like that Argus guy from Greek mythology, but just a bit different. Now, he has various vision-based abilities, not like, you know, laser vision or just different spectrums, but at least from what I remember, because, you know, they don't use him that much, is he can shoot energy out of his eyes, and he has basically 360-degree vision. And he can see things other people can't. Like, for example, spoiler, later on in the franchise, you'll see that he can see smells, sort of. And I don't mean like, you know, like where he's high and he can, and like you know, like, it's not like when someone says they're high and they can, like, you know, see smells. It's nothing like that. He literally can. It's just this weird sight-based, like, tracking ability that he has. Now, the next alien he unlocks, technically he unlocks it originally in one of the movies, but anywho, Waybig is a Tokastar. They are born in cosmic storms, and they're just absolutely kaiju sized. Now, Waybig, just overall, just great alien if you just need like overwhelming physical force and strength and durability. And he can also shoot out cosmic rays or something, like an energy beam. He has to put his arms kind of like that. I mean, kind of weird, I'll admit, but, you know, it is cool. And I'll admit, you know, out of most of Ben's aliens, but like the super powerful ones that are just there to use brute force. I'll be honest. If you're villain, most cases, if you slowly look up and see way big, let's be honest, you're screwed. Like, you can pray to whatever space god you worship. At best, that's all you can do because you're basically screwed. Like, there are very rare cases where someone can really duke it out against way big and actually like hold their own, let alone win. But there are other weaknesses like trapping. I'm tripping him, as well as blinding him, like making him fall over. Plus, he is a very big target, so he's slow, like slower than smaller people. But still, he has a lot of reach given his massive legs. But pretty cool alien, not gonna lie. That's basically like the gist of Way Big. Now the next alien he unlocks in just like the entire original series as a kid is Ditto. Now he is known as a Splixen. They have just infinite self-cloning capabilities. So Ditto could theoretically, if there was no timeout function, just completely populate and just completely take over the planet and just keep on going as long as there's room. However, there is a bit of a caveat or drawback to this. All clones, no matter how far away they are from each other, do feel and experience anything the others experience, but specifically pain. Now, it's not like, let's say I create 2 Ditto clones, one goes to Texas, one goes to Alabama. It's not like I can just see and smell through them. It's any pain they experience is experienced evenly throughout all the clones. So whatever happens to one clone happens to the others. So it doesn't matter which one is the real one. They're all the real Ben. So if you take out one of them, it takes out all of them. And with the timeout function, it automatically pulls all of the Dittos back together. And in the original series, spoiler, if all the Dittos are unable to all get together, then the timeout function won't happen. Now, in the original series, it's shown as all the Dittos just flying towards each other, and then ow, damn it, hey, can't really do that. And then they collide and merge into each other. But in later iterations, it looks different. I'll talk about that more in the Ditto focused video, later down the road. Now, he is short, and sure, power numbers and all that, and they can all lift a decent amount if they all team up. But they are short and have stubby short legs, so not exactly the best alien if you're looking for just physical fighters or a good runner if you're trying to escape. But technically, through power of numbers, they can dogpile and possibly overwhelm a good majority of enemies, but obviously more powerful ones like Maw, Riedel, or Vilgax or others, they would be too strong for that. And that is all of the aliens that Ben unlocks in the original series. Now, please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. And in part 3, like I said, I will be discussing the Omnitrix of this specific iteration, the original series, in much greater detail. The ins and outs. So, hope you guys look forward to that.